It was just another cold morning in a forgotten corner of the city, the kind where the sunlight barely reached through the cracks of broken buildings and the air smelled of exhaust and rain-soaked cardboard. 17-year-old Jaden Holt sat on the curb outside an abandoned laundromat, his hoodie pulled tight against the chill, his stomach growling after a night without food. His fingers were cracked from the cold, his jeans torn at the knees, and his shoes looked more like open sandals than sneakers. People passed him every day, office workers, delivery drivers, mothers pushing strollers, but no one looked him in the eyes. To them, he was invisible. But that morning, fate had other plans. Before we dive deeper into Jaden's story, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of doing good without expecting anything in return, take a second to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Journal. Your support helps more stories like this reach people who need to hear them. The sound of a motorcycle engine broke the silence that morning, a deep, growling rumble that echoed off the empty streets. Jaden looked up to see a massive black Harley slowing to a stop just a few feet away. The man riding it looked like he belonged in a movie. Broad shoulders, tattoos peeking out from his leather jacket, long grey hair pulled back into a ponytail. But as the bike stopped, something went wrong. The engine sputtered and coughed before dying completely. The biker swore under his breath and kicked the side of the bike. Jaden hesitated. Normally, he avoided people like that. Tough men on motorcycles weren't exactly the type to befriend homeless teens. But then he saw the man crouch down, holding his knee in pain, his jeans torn, blood trickling down his leg. Jaden's instincts overpowered his fear. He pushed himself up, brushed the dirt off his jacket and walked over. "Hey," he said quietly, "you okay?" The biker looked up, surprised to see a skinny teenager standing there. "I'll live," he muttered. "Bike just gave out. Gas line, maybe." Jaden nodded, his eyes scanning the motorcycle. He had no formal training, but he'd spent countless hours watching mechanics from the alley behind a repair shop. He knew a thing or two about engines. "I can take a look," he said cautiously. The biker smirked. You sure?" "Can't promise anything," Jaden said, already crouching. "But I can try for the next 20 minutes. Jaden's hands worked with quiet focus. He used a bent metal rod and a piece of old wire he'd scavenged to adjust the line and tighten the valve. When he motioned for the biker to start the engine, the Harley roared back to life. The man looked at him in disbelief. "You fixed it," he said. "Kid, you just saved me a tow truck and a lot of time." Jaden shrugged. "Just helped out." "You hungry?" the biker asked. Jaden's pride told him to say no, but his empty stomach betrayed him. The man handed him a $20 bill and said, "Get yourself a hot meal, all right?" Jaden shook his head. "I don't want your money, sir. I just wanted to help." The biker looked at him for a long moment, his eyes narrowing as if memorizing the boy's face. Then he smiled faintly, revved the engine, and said, "You've got a good heart, kid. Don't lose it." With that, he rode off down the street, disappearing into the horizon. Jaden went back to his corner, thinking nothing more of it. He had no idea that act of kindness, helping a stranger without expecting anything, was about to change his entire life. The next morning, the city woke up to an unusual sound. Not one motorcycle, but hundreds. The low thunder of engines rolled through the streets, shaking windows and turning heads. Jaden, half asleep under his thin blanket, blinked and sat up. The noise grew louder, then stopped. When he looked up, his jaw dropped. Lining both sides of the street were bikers, dozens of them, rows and rows of roaring Harleys, their chrome gleaming in the sunlight. Jackets bearing the unmistakable skull and wings emblem of the Hells Angels. People on the sidewalks froze, unsure whether to run or record on their phones. At the center of it all, stepping off his bike, was the same man Jaden had helped. Only now, he wasn't just a biker. He looked like a leader. Jaden's heart pounded as the man approached him, surrounded by a wall of leather and steel. He tried to stand, unsure what was happening. The crowd went silent. The biker stopped right in front of him, his boots crunching the gravel. "You remember me?" he asked. Jaden nodded, his throat dry. Yeah, your bike. The man smiled. You fixed it, didn't ask for a thing in return. Jaden shrugged nervously. Didn't need to. The biker turned around, his deep voice booming through the street. This kid here, Jaden, helped me when I was stranded. Didn't know who I was, didn't want money, just wanted to do good, and we— He gestured to the sea of bikers behind him. We take that kind of thing seriously. The bikers raised their helmets in salute. Engines revved in unison, filling the air with thunder. Jaden could hardly breathe. Then the man handed Jaden an envelope. This is for you. Jaden opened it, and his hands began to shake. Inside was a thick stack of cash, thousands of dollars. Enough to change everything. I can't take this, Jaden stammered. I didn't do it for— The man stopped him with a hand on his shoulder. You didn't do it for reward. That's exactly why you deserve it. Tears welled up in Jaden's eyes. For years he'd been invisible, just another forgotten kid trying to survive. But now, surrounded by the roar of 120 Hell's Angels, he felt seen for the first time in his life. The biker continued. You got somewhere to stay, kid? Jaden hesitated. No, sir. Then you do now. The man motioned toward a black van parked nearby. Inside was a box of clothes, a new sleeping bag, food, and a card. There's a friend of mine runs a garage downtown, he said. Told him about you. Said he'd give you a job and a place to stay. You show up there tomorrow. Tell him Axel sent you. Jaden looked at him in disbelief. You're serious? Axel smiled. Dead serious. We take care of our own. You showed heart when no one else did. That's rare these days. Jaden could hardly speak. His mind flashed back to the nights he'd slept under bridges, to the hunger, to the loneliness. And now, this. A real chance. Word spread fast through the city. Photos and videos of the event flooded social media. Homeless teen helped a biker. Next day, 120 Hell's Angels paid him back. People commented by the thousands, some in awe, some in tears. News stations came looking for Jaden, wanting to tell his story. But Jaden didn't want fame. He wanted peace. He started working at the garage Axel had arranged, sweeping floors, learning engines, earning honest pay. He saved every dollar he could, renting a small room in a shared apartment. Every once in a while, a biker would stop by the shop, one of Axel's men, just to check on him. They always left him a meal, a pat on the shoulder, and the same words, keep your heart good, kid. That's worth more than gold. Months passed, and Jaden's life slowly rebuilt itself. He learned not just how to fix bikes, but how to fix his own broken pieces. He found friends, purpose, and hope where there had once been only survival. And every weekend, when he heard the distant thunder of motorcycles on the highway, he smiled. One sunny afternoon, he was closing up the garage when a familiar rumble filled the air. A line of bikes rolled in, led by Axel himself. Jaden ran out, grinning. Didn't think I'd see you again, he said. Axel handed him a helmet. We're riding upstate for the charity event this weekend. We'd like you to come with us, not as a guest, as one of us. Jaden froze. You mean? Axel nodded. You earned your patch, kid. Tears blurred Jaden's vision as the men cheered around him, clapping his back. He'd gone from a boy sleeping on concrete to a young man with a brotherhood that believed in him. That night, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the bikes roared into the golden distance, Jaden felt something he hadn't felt in years. Belonging. He looked up at the sky, the wind hitting his face, the engines roaring beside him, and whispered to himself, I was never invisible. I just hadn't been seen by the right people yet. If this story touched your heart, if you believe that kindness can change lives in ways we can't even imagine, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Journal. Every gesture of love and empathy creates ripples that can transform the world. And before this story ends, comment below. Do you believe one small act of kindness can truly change someone's destiny? Because Jaden Holt proved it absolutely can.